Okay, today is June 10th, I believe. And yesterday, I actually meant to start this yesterday, Spirit has suggested that I create a vlog on my attempt to naturally heal and remove and get rid of the cataracts on my eyes so that I don't have to experience the surgery. For one, it's extremely expensive. It's $7,500 per eye, which, yes, when my Medicare kicks in August, when I turn 65, it'll cover 80% under Plan B. And the other 20%, I believe, is covered, they said, under Plan C. But I can be impatient, and for one, I can be impatient. But number two is when I went through the apprenticeship with Surge to solidify my shamanic training, to solidify who I am, one of the things he taught very strongly and was very strong about is that surgery is always the very, very, very last option. You try everything else first, whether it's a homeopathic remedy, a naturopathic remedy, a energy healing, whether you use reiki or LaHo or shamanic energy, cranial sacral, all different types of energy healing that's out there, body talk or whatever it's called, so that you can get to the root cause of what caused the issue, and then come at it from a holistic approach. Now, that doesn't mean you totally disregard Western medicine, because it does have a place, and there are some things that you do need a medical doctor for. So this vlog is going to be my research, working on myself to see if we can really heal and get rid of the cataracts. Now, the left eye is worse, way worse, than the smaller one that started to form on the right eye. So I don't know how long it might take, but there is a protocol that I was given. It's in a book from homeopathic doctor, I believe she is, and she found these to be extremely effective. Again, doesn't say how long, because again, every person's different. Everybody's body heals differently. Your mindset is different. So not only am I using Reiki, because I am a Reiki master teacher, but I'm also LaHo master teacher. And with LaHo you work with Latsu, and he comes in and he just does the healing through you. So we instigated or started that. The Reiki I started yesterday morning. LaHo I asked Latsu to come in last night to start helping. I have now taken 2 doses of the homeopathic remedy. I took one yesterday afternoon when they finally arrived. This time the right ones. And I took a dose this morning when I woke up. But then I kept hearing very loud and clear. I love that clairaudient. It's just like, look at crystals. There's crystals out there that will also help treat cataracts. I'm like, wow, okay. So I had my friend Deborah look them up for me because I keep losing my internet or my phone keeps dying because I'm still in the car, to see what crystals. And then we went, as she read them out, I held my pendulum. You know, basically was just holding it up like this as she asked the questions of, is this one a good one to use for? See, now, like if I'm holding them up in my hand right now, are these homeopathic remedies that were suggested going to help remove them? And as you can see, it is definitely a big yes. So now if we ask, by adding the crystals that were suggested, and of the long list, there were 2 specific ones, rose quartz and green aventurine, you see, whoa, see how much bigger that yes becomes, that it will expand and explode the healing. Okay, stop. Thank you. Now let's ask if also the Reiki is still working. It's still going. You see it's a much smaller yes, but it is still going. And Latsu and LaHo Chi. See, much bigger yes. So that is what we're doing now. The protocol, and I'll show you what they are. This is one of them, taken in tandem with this one. Now, according to the book that the protocol comes out of, to be 100% healed might take months. But what we got is there were going to be a very definitive, definite, very noticeable difference in the seeing, especially with this eye, within 7 days. And then by adding the crystals to it, I should be able to see according to what we're picking up. And that's why it's always good to ask another metaphysically minded friend, healer, teacher that's tapped in to source to verify that you are getting correct answers. So she would ask the question, she would get an answer, but I would be using holding my pendulum to see what answer my guides were telling me. And I knew, because we were getting the same information and the same answers without knowing what the other one was doing or saying, you know it's coming from source. There's no ego interference. There's like, oh God, I really want this to happen, so that you effectively force the pendulum to answer the way you want it to answer. So every day we're going to notice. Now last night, and I know I probably won't be able to show it, where I'm sitting, there's a huge yellow sign, and I don't think you might be able to see it over there. It's a huge yellow sign. When I pulled in here last night, I could barely see the yellow on it. That's how bad especially that left eye. And if I closed my right eye and tried to look, I couldn't even hardly see the sign itself, and it's huge. Last night, I could actually read what the sign said. This morning, without putting on my driving glasses, my distance glasses, I can read the sign. Now, if I close my left my left eye, it's very blurry. I can see the sign, I can see it's yellow, but I can't read what's on it. If I close the left eye and read it with my right eye, I can see the sign, I can see it's yellow, and I can read that it says Penske on it. So this eye is way worse because the cataract is way larger and covers more of the eye. But last night, when the light wasn't reflecting off that cataract and it was dark out here, I could read it crystal clear without any glasses on. So this is how we're going to determine how the protocol is working. And I'm also, because it's an old, it's not a wives' tale, it's an old healing thing. Castor oil also works on healing myriad of things, but it also helps with the eye. So I have been putting the castor oil on the eyes probably for about a week. And now we're stepping it up since the protocols finally came in, the right ones came in this week. So we're going to keep a vlog. These will eventually be all posted on YouTube so that people can follow along on the journey so that they can see holistically some of the things that I do, and I always forget I can do them on myself. I'm so used to doing the healing work on other people. And my friend yesterday, Deborah, said, duh, why aren't you doing it on yourself? I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I can do that. So sometimes it's so ingrained in us who and what we are that we forget that we can actually take our healing abilities and use them on ourselves. That's what they're for. Yes, we're here to help other people heal, but we're also here to help ourselves. And we can't help others if we don't help ourselves first. So this is going to be a daily thing. We're going to check in every day, because I let you know if I forgot to take it, if I had to up it or down the homeopathic remedies, these two remedies. Right now we're going to be, Deborah got, and so did I, twice a day, 3 of each, twice a day. And I heard eventually it's going to go down to once a day, kind of like the one I take for my ears, because I have managed to get rid of the eczema all from around my body except in my ears. And so there's a homeopathic remedy for that. And I started it when I was still in Oklahoma, and I was doing it 3 times a day. And then I was able to get it down to twice a day, and then once a day. And then once I got out of Oklahoma and got away from that higher humidity, now it's like once every other day or once every couple of days. But the ears have healed. So I had to get away again, get into the drier climate, and it helped the healing process. But then you also listen to spirit and say, and your body. That's what body talk is all about. Your body will tell you what it needs, how much it needs, when it needs it. And when you listen to the body, when it says, hey, stop, you can't see out of your eye at all, you need to stop driving. That's why I stopped last night. Because I literally could not see a darn thing out of this eye. It was so cloudy. So I flushed it. So the doctor had given me, I don't know, I keep calling it Renew, but I don't think that's what it's called. I think it's called Refresh. So she gave me this when she diagnosed the cataracts, because she said this will help. So I flushed my eyes out last night with this, and I need to get a bigger bottle. I think Walmart carries it because there's not much left in here. it helped flush out this eye. So I have a feeling as it's healing, the stuff is crumbling off, because even this morning I pulled more junk and see there's more coming out. So there is a dissolving of whatever is encrusted on the eyeball itself. So that's why we want to videotape this and watch the progress, so that you guys can also see what natural healing is about. Again, and this is the disclaimer, you don't ever do it and disregard your medical doctor, because some things do need the attention of medical doctors. But if there are homeopathic remedies that you can try in the meantime to help facilitate your healing, and it's not going to interfere with what you're doing with your medical doctor, because I asked, I said, I want to try homeopathics, and the eye doctor was like, yeah, that might work, and that, might help in the meantime, but we still need to make sure we keep the surgery in mind just in case. And that's true of any medical issue. But we are powerful healers. All of us are. It's ingrained in our spirit. So if there is a homeopathic remedy out there that will work for you, by all means, because it won't hurt you, but it possibly can help you. So stay tuned. We got a long way to go. This is just the start of the journey. Oh, and those crystals, for me, on that long list that we read out, I pretty much have all the crystals that were mentioned on there because they're in storage. But the two that were the most powerful for me were rose quartz, and even bigger was the green aventurine. So that is what we're using on the crystal side, along with the homeopathic and the castor oil, and of course the LaHo chi and the reiki. So stay tuned as we go on this journey of healing cataracts off of eyes. Bye for now, folks. Remember, walk in beauty.